Hello, everybody. Welcome to Grandma Hershey Cooks. I'm Grandma Hershey, spelled with a U and not an E. So let's not get it twisted. Anywho, this is the second show in the new kitchen, and we're still getting acclimated and still getting used to things. But anywho, I believe it's going to work out. We don't have a choice. We just come along for the ride, okay? So anyway, still haven't found my new laptop, so I still can't do my printouts. So we're using cue cards today, okay? The teleprompter girl is on break until we find the printer so that we can get everything printed out and try to get back to normal. All right, and who knows, this may be the new normal. So anyway, today's recipe. Let me turn this down a little. I went from a gas stove to an electric stove. Okay, and it's been a while since I worked with electric stove, but we gonna get it. Okay, have no fear. Grandma Hershey's here. So today episode is episode 51, and we are doing Rotel Dip. And you know why? Because the Super Bowl is on Sunday. Now last year we did the chicken wing basket, chicken wings and fries basket, remember? And it was oven fried, and that's on episode 9 in case you missed it. So if you want to make the wings and the fries, then go to episode 9 and add that to episode 51 Rotel. All right, so this is a healthier version. I notice I do this a lot. I don't know why. Anywho, so what Grandma Hershey did is she went to nutritionics.com. You know she liked to do her research. And what did was compared the average Rotel dip to Grandma Hershey's Rotel dip. Okay, and this is using 1/4 cup, not the 2 tablespoons, but the 1/4 cup. All right. So on the new, according to nutritionics.com, the average serving of if it's 1/4 cup is 142 calories. Grandma Hershey got beat 66.6 calories. Come to get you some. The saturated fat for the average is 6.6 grams. Grandma Hershey, you ready for it? 1.5. Low in saturated fat, baby. The average cholesterol, 36 milligrams. You ready for Grandma Hershey? 15.4 milligrams. Man, Grandma Hershey doing something, ain't she? The average sodium for 1/4 cup of Rotel, 792 milligrams. You know Grandma Hershey can't go for that. 169.2, baby. You're welcome. So if you got high blood pressure, you can eat Grandma Hershey's Rotel. The average carbs is 5.4 grams. Grandma Hershey carbs is 3.3 grams. The average fiber, which you're not going to find a lot in this, is 0 for the average and 0.7 grams for Grandma Hershey. They got a little fiber in there. The average sugar, 3.6 grams. You know what Grandma Hershey's is? It's diabetic friendly, I tell you. 0.8 grams. And then the protein, now they did get me on the protein. The protein for the average is 7.6 grams, and I'm pretty sure that's because they use ground beef. Grandma Hershey used ground turkey, all right? And it's 5.4 grams. So this is a healthier version of the good old Rotel, and you can have it because it's healthier and it's worth it and it still tastes good. Okay, so you're welcome. All right, so being that time is of the essence around here and we don't have all day, we're gonna go ahead and make this dip. Okay, so Grandma Hershey still reading stuff from the phone just in case she forget. I'm gonna go ahead and read this list of what the ingredients are. All right, so for this is 22 servings is what this makes. 22 servings at 1/4 cup each, and you take 1 pound of ground turkey, and go ahead and get the good ground turkey. Okay, the one in that little square looking styrofoam package, because the ones in the tube don't crumble up as well. I had to really work with this. Grandma Hershey got the cheap one because she promised you Rotel. But I tell you what, next time the meat as high as it is, Grandma Hershey gonna have a whole different recipe for you. I can't help it. That the one I normally get was $7.99. Grandma Hershey don't have it like that at the moment. In the future, maybe, but not right now. So I did get the cheap ground turkey, and I had to work with it. But I advise you for this recipe, try to get the good one. All right. And so, oh, okay, forgot. And so we have half a package of no salt taco seasoning and half a package of regular taco seasoning. Okay. We have 2 cans of Rotel, no salt, and we have 5 ounces of the Velveeta cheese. You know, the block cheese, good cheese that's high in salt. We use 5 ounces of that, okay, and we counteracted it with our vegan cheese sauce. All right. Then we use 1 can of the light coconut milk by Thai Kitchen. That's the favorite one I like. It's the one who seem to be the most reasonable price, and you can get that through Amazon. Comes 6 cans in a pack. All right. Then we have 4 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of tapioca flour, which also may be called tapioca starch because that's a thickening agent. And that's why, and it's also make cakes and whatever. So we use 2 tablespoons of the coconut flour, a half a teaspoon of our wonderful kosher salt, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of the smoked paprika. Now, those are your ingredients, and they are in the description section of the YouTube thingy here. Okay. So anywho, and you notice Grandma Hershey, I mean, wearing her earrings. She I mean having no rings on because I can't find. Well, okay, I take back. I did finally find the jewelry last night, but I didn't feel like going through it today. But the other times I did not know where it was. So as I was searching for other things for the show, I found things that I had been needing. So anywho, forget all about that. About me, it's about you. Okay, so let's go ahead and make the dip. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ground the turkey meat. Okay, so this is ground turkey from the tube. But anywho, it's all right. I got this sucker grounded up pretty good. Okay, and we're gonna I do it in a skillet, beat it to death, and then when it gets done, I tell you what, I don't know what to do about this loveliness. Oh, y'all, you want to take it, okay? Anywho, we're gonna put this ground turkey in this large pan because you will fry it first in the skillet. You'll drain it and then you put it in the large pot. Okay, so that's the step we're on right now. The large pot. All righty. And then I'm going to turn this back up a little so it'll be ready on medium or medium high if you want. So then we're going to take we're going to take our taco seasonings first. We're going to mix that in and get that stirred into the meat because you know we got to have some seasoning and some flavor in our food. Grandma Hershey don't play that. All righty. So we're going to get this seasoning stirred in here. Then we're going to add our Rotel. 2 cans. All right. And you can leave the juice in the Rotel. Drain the juice in the turkey meat and leave the juice in the Rotel. Okay. That's gonna make us a nice creamy cheese sauce. So we got that going. Then I'll stir that into here. And raw. Yep. So it goes in. Oh, and then we've got to add the 5 ounces of Velveeta. I like to cut it up into little cubes so it'll melt better. All right. So we're gonna stick that into it'll come out. I'm joining the party. All right. Don't be shy. Before you can't be shy around here, we need it. All right, so I put it in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it in. And I'm going to melt that cheese into the ground turkey and the Rotel. I'm going to melt that into this. So I might want to turn this up a little bit more. So it can get the jumping. Okay? We don't have all day or all night. So while that is going, because we're almost done now. Once you get that ground turkey done, you have half the battle won right there. It's a real easy recipe, and it tastes very good. You already know that. And Grandma Hershey's version tastes good too. All right. Hershey not gonna steer you wrong on purpose. Now, she might come off the wall every now and then, but it won't be on purpose. Oh. All right. So while that's going, we're gonna turn this other eye on, and we're gonna make the vegan cheese sauce. Okay. Remember when we had? Make sure I get the right eye. Remember when we had the macaroni and cheese and made that vegan cheese sauce? It's good for you. And I just want everybody to know, the vegans, I want you to know that in the book, the regular things that I make that can be turned totally vegan, I will have the vegan version in the book. Okay? I'm not gonna leave you out now. Everybody gotta eat. You know how I feel about that. So while that's doing this thing, we are going to take the can of the light coconut milk. We don't waste it. We're going to put it in this other pot. How thick and creamy that is. Yep. Sure enough. Like my middle brother say, already. Oh, Lord. So we want to keep an eye on the other. We don't want it to stick and burn. We want that cheese to melt. All right, then. What we did was we took, man, I may get that. Where'd my phone go? It's this right here. It's been a snake that bit me. Okay, we're gonna look at this part. That's why I hate missing my teleprompter. Okay, so yeah, I had told you what it was. We're gonna repeat that. Oh, now I need to turn this down. I don't want no problems around Chimp. Okay, let's stir it up some more. Okay, so what we've got here, this is the nutritional yeast, the 4 tablespoons nutritional yeast. It's the 2 tablespoons of tapioca flour, the half a teaspoon of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Okay, and we're going to whisk that into the milk. Whisk that into the milk. That's that nutritional yeast. And you look at that episode with the macaroni and cheese, we talked about the nutritional yeast, the value of it, and it's healthy for you. I can see why the vegans eat it, because you can make it taste like cheese and make it look like cheese sauce. Okay? And so with this, you're going to just whisk it for a couple of minutes until it gets thickened, until it looks like a cheese sauce. That's what you want to do. Okay? So I can't tell you the exact numbers on the electric stove to put it on. I have it on 7 right now, but I say medium high on the regular stove, on the gas stove. Okay, now while that's doing that, let me stir this again. Whew, I tell you what, Grandmahurshey know how to what you call it? I don't know what thing to Duolingo. That's crazy. She can multitask. Oh, Lordy. Let's do this. Woo-hoo. But because of the amygdala, women can function at 2 things at a time. Because it lets her, it does in the brain with the amygdala, is half the size of the male. And so it also works with your metabolism system. And that's why males get muscles quicker than females. But they can only really comprehend on the right side. So if you have a problem with a man that's not paying attention, talk to his right side. Okay. Now with the females, they can have 2 conversations going at the same time, because they can understand on both sides thanks to that amygdala. It might be small, but it's big. Okay. They say big things come in small packages, and that's one of them. Thank you, Lord. So when you send them to get something, be precise. Don't say, can you go look in the cabinet and get me such and such a thing? That amygdala, it's not working for them like that. You have to tell them, go look in the cabinet on the left, on the top drawer, in the right corner, and get me such and such a thing. Otherwise, they're going to open that door, and they're going to look at it and say, I don't see it. And honestly, they don't. They can't help themselves. So Stop being mad at these poor little men who can't help it because God made them that way. They need us, okay? Oh, so let's see how thick this is. It's not as thick as I want it to be, but it's thickening. This here is really right. And you see how nice and cheesy that sauce, that rotel is on this one. Okay, maybe this eye don't work as fast as the others. First time I used this eye, it is thickening up. You can see. No, you can't really see, can you? Oh Lord, have mercy. Okay, now this has really blended in together on this side. So what I'm gonna do, I think this is thick enough, but you definitely want it to be saucy, and it's pretty saucy. I believe it'll be all right. Okay, you'll see that sauce right there. Mm-hmm. That's the vegan cheese sauce. And that's where the little bit of fiber came from, because nutritional yeast has fiber in it. Okay, but it really is a good thing to use. So, and I can't remember exactly what those values were, but I remember it was very good. So go back and look at the macaroni and cheese episode, and look at the nutritional value of the nutritional yeast. And for a long time, I thought it was like, you know how you take yeast to make uh, bread and stuff. I thought it was something like that, but it's not. Just like those sweet potatoes we learned about last week. They're not even considered a potato where the yam is. Isn't that weird? I don't know. Go figure. Okay, so we got this nice and blended in together. And I could have had, instead of using this one that the angels, kitchen angels made last night. Isn't that cute? Then I could really just add to, just use one of these and use the very fresh Rotel Dip. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the very fresh in, because I want you to be able to see it. Okay, okay, it's off. You know, with these electric stoves, you have to move stuff because it'll still be cooking. All right, so I want you to see what it looked like. See how it looks like Rotel? Ta-da! Now let's get one of these tortilla chips that Grandma Hershey fried earlier. Now, ask Grandma Hershey this question: why she go to the store and she see the bag of tortilla chips and she knows she got to make Rotel? And you know what she said? I don't need that. I don't understand Grandma Hershey sometimes. So then she go in the kitchen angel say, "Oh, you don't have no tortilla chips." I'm like, what? So then, thank God that my daughter loves to fry tortillas. So don't tell her, but I took some of her tortillas and I made the tortilla chips. Okay, so let's grab one of these tortilla chips. See how pretty it is. And Grandma Hershey gonna taste and make sure it's not poison. Okay. Let's see, we gotta get some pieces in here. I want to make sure I get some meat and some tomato, because that's our rotel is. It's tomato and green chilies. And you can see the smoke. Mm-hmm. Do you hear that crunch on that tortilla chip? Mm-hmm. I typed up the recipe for you if you want to just email me and let me know. Grandmahursheycooks@gmail.com. Spell with you. Okay. Now you know we gotta take one for the team. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yes, I double dip because it's mine. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't be double dipping. Don't get in trouble with nobody. So, anywho, that's some good stuff. And this way, you can still enjoy your football game or any other thing you want to have some Rotel dip at. If you're going somewhere and you know they're making the unhealthy version, make your own and take it with you. Okay? So, what Grandma Hershey needs you to do right now, she needs you to like this show with the thumbs up. And then, if you have not subscribed already, hit subscribe. Then click the black bell. That way, every time Grandma Hershey come on, you'll get a notice, okay? And in a minute, this show will be over. And what I need you to do after it's over, before it runs all the way out, I need you to share this with everybody that you know. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with your neighbors, and share it with your enemies, because everybody got to eat. Okay? We got to feed the world. All right? So now, I want to do the shout outs. Remember last week, I couldn't find my paper to know who did what. So find my paper. I want to shout out to my beautiful sister. She watches every show. I want to shout out to my good friend Reggie. He watches every show. Shout out to my friend Jeanette. Shout out to my pastor's wife, who is short as me, but don't tell her because she thinks she is taller. Shout out to my First Lady Eileen. Shout out to my pastor, Charles E. Johnson. Shout out to my good friend Alex and my good friend Najee and my classmate Vera Nicholson. Yay, my classmate. And then to my good friend Kay, to my good friend Annette, and to my beautiful niece. Okay? I want to shout out to all of you guys for being supportive of me. And if you watch the show, tell me something I can shout you out to. Unless you just don't want to be. But I love you anyway it go. Okay? So now the only birthday that I know for sure, and I know there's others, but the only one that I can recall for sure is who I call my son, Paul Sr. Okay? Happy birthday to you. All right? And so that's the end of today's show. So guess what we're making next week for Valentine's Day? Because the show is the day before Valentine's Day. We are making red velvet cheesecake squares. Get ready, get ready, get ready. So you'll have something to serve for dessert on Valentine's Day that is nice and sweet and tasty and a healthier version of the average. Okay? So I will see you next Tuesday, hopefully on Tuesday, and especially not Wednesday, on Tuesday, with our red velvet cheesecake squares, or bars, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. See you next week, and I love you. Mwah. Don't forget to tell me. All right, and you know how this crazy mouse do. I don't want to stop but to use my finger.